Hey, welcome everybody. Sorry for the delay, and everybody had enough patience to wait through all that nonsense. It appeared that something happened to that account. I haven't had a chance to look into it, but this account fired right up. So, with all that said, let me introduce everybody from left to right. Magic Mike,
Howdy doody.
Lady Cat,
Hello, people.
and Aussie.
I usually say good morning, but it's nearly afternoon. Good morning.
Well,
Oh,
well, it's 8
Oh,
o'clock this
I'm
afternoon to you.
joking. No, I'm only joking.
No, the
It's all
crap
good.
I've been going through for the last hour and 20 minutes trying to get this thing going. It's
Yeah,
not
wonder
put
why
me in
you
the
hadn't
best of
sent the link
moods.
earlier.
So,
how's your beard didn't get warm?
I was
He's
drinking
gone through a
pretty fast
carton
during
already.
that. So, let's go ahead and start with the slides. The people have been waiting long enough. I'm going to put Lady Cat on present.
I'm gonna go on mute. So don't make any funny noises.
Battle replays fail to save. The defender joins in battle in progress. Never run across that. I know a lot of players have been having issues with battle replays in general, but oh wow, I'm glad it's fixed, I guess. But it seems that the whoever gets to watch it in live time, which is not a simulation, so but I'm glad it's fixed. The second one, does somebody want to explain the second one for me? Where target 120 and 121 do not have a battle report button in Blitz Modal. I don't know that we had a battle report button, so I'm
No.
not really sure what that means. So
I don't think I ever
I never
saw that
blitzed them,
before.
so I don't even take any notice.
yeah, so it also appears that D7M and D7CO, the corrosive, cannot be selected after removing them from an armor slot. Again, okay, glad it's done. And then I've heard this problem's been going on for a while. If you try to relocate during a raid, it just shuts down relocate once alpha gets into it. So even if you want to go from beta to gamma, you can't do it. So I guess I'm glad that's fixed for the people that are waiting till the last moment. So any thoughts on any of that? Okay. I guess the big news is the next two. The HT transformer has had its cap increased to 8. Used to be 5. You can earn up to 5 of them in the Bounty 21, which is starts tomorrow. So now you can have up to 8 with the launcher or whatever you choose. So
If I play Bounty, that'll be the reason why.
yeah, I find that the most important thing in the current bounty.
That's probably the only reason I'm going to be doing bounty. Nothing really else in there that I want.
And then my favorite one. The first iteration of our inventory management system is now live. Has a ton of additional filters, as well as a search bar that will allow you to do additional filtering by name of the item. You can't do it by aspect, but you can do it by name. So, and let's talk about that one on the next slide. Alrighty. I've been pushing for this one for a while, if you can see by the date. This is wasn't when I first proposed it, but I made some formatting changes and some wording changes in July of last year. And as you all see, it looks sort of similar. The main changes was defense because of age, became survival, and they dropped supercharge for some reason and they lumped it in with radioactive. I'm assuming because they don't remember some of those damage over time weapons that were doing corrosive. That's why I wanted to split out Supercharge into its own category over, So I'm happy about, generally how this has been executed. It's limited in scope, but there are some issues, especially with the Galea, where it's showing up where it shouldn't, and not showing up everywhere it should. Like it's showing up under ballistic and radioactive, but not showing up under survival. So, any thoughts on this? Anybody played around with it yet?
Yep, love it.
Oh, I haven't had a chance yet, so I was just having trouble with my game yesterday and today.
Okay. But yeah, it allows you to, as opposed to having to choose between 300 things. By using these categories, you can get down to anywhere between 5 and 12. There might be a little bit more under movement. But I think it helps. It definitely helps me for somebody that's trying to figure out different builds at different times and what we have available. And it, because we're just reliant on having to have everything, remember what the name of everything is. And, it's, or I'm not the name. Yeah. If we remember the name, we're good. We have to remember what it looks like and where it is and whatnot. So this is helpful in my mind. So,
Yeah, I think it's great as long as I can trust them to put all the right things in the right places.
yeah, like I pointed out, the Galil is off in a couple places, and the other thing is updating it, and that might have been why it's taken so long for them to do it. Because now, as opposed to not updating it, where we had like 4 or 5 categories, now they need to look at 18 categories or something, and remember to update it every time they release new content. So, all right. If we're done with that one, I'm going to post the link over again. So, alrighty. This is the updated assault cycle calendar. Right now, we have May Bounty starting tomorrow, and the interceptors are coming out, as we'll talk about later. They're coming out only for the top people in the individual leaderboard. But next week we will have shipwrecks, which is going to be a new feature, where you can earn them through shards. There's a lot of unknowns associated with this, like how many shards, how do we get them? We don't know any of that stuff at this point. The next week we're going to have pillage, and I'm assuming that the way they have them gathered together, that the Gorgon will be part of pillage. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Is that an event?
Pillage?
No, I know Pillage's event, but this new ship thing, is that an event or is it just an ongoing thing?
Well, I think what I was saying is I'm hoping that it's a prize in pillage.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah. I'm not certain though. It could be released in some other way. But and also that's the first chance we're going to see a Siege world map transition, getting the new targets oriented towards the Eradicator and the Shrike. And then yada yada for the rest of it. Raid, that are, not a lot of more details. So let's move on. People have been waiting long enough. Alrighty. Shipwrecks and interceptors. This is a new feature to the game. I didn't expect to be spending like an hour trying to fix my computer before I try to get into this, but this is the way it is. in the as we talked about before, we are going to get 2 new interceptors that are initially available this week in Bounty, according to leaderboard, and then next week associated with shard drops and some sort of event, which we don't know anything about. They have 1 weapon and 1 special slot. They have a built-in weapon. All of them have directional firing auras or arcs. I'm sorry, similar to what we've seen with the weapons, the turret weapons that go on top of your HT transformers. They do a generic damage type. You have a maximum of 3 ships per fleet. You can build them in your Conqueror yard. They come fully skulled or not skulled at all, but there's no VXP associated with them. And there's going to be upgrades associated with them for a special edge. And there is a max of 3 coins repair per fleet. So, anybody have anything else on the interceptors? I'm sort of running through things. I'm sort of all zipped up after trying to figure this thing out for an hour. Hello? Anybody? Okay. All right. Well, I will move on to shipwrecks.
No.
What?
No.
Okay. All righty. I'll move on to shipwrecks. There appears that there's going to be multiple types of shipwrecks. The payouts are flexible. They might be used as a supplementary part of an event where you might be able to get additional bounty points or whatever. This has not been defined to the player base. And the payouts occur based on a timer. Once this time's out, you'll get whatever award is supposed to be coming to you. I don't think you get incremental awards. Like if it says for an hour, whoever holds it at the end of the hour is the winner. The actual PvE enemy inside of it is not supposed to be that challenging. It's the fact that it can be recaptured by somebody else with a similar ship. There's also alliance shipwrecks, which means that all of those prizes are also given to your alliance. And I think it's only associated with the alliance shipwrecks is something called contested waters, where any ship can be attacked within a radius of one of these shipwrecks, even if it's moving or whatnot. So there's a lot of interesting little things associated with this. I think it's going to be highly gameable or exploitable, however you want to put it. Just through the fact that 2 friends can decide to tie it up for the whole time so it can't be attacked by somebody else. But we don't have all the details associated with that. So, and this is supposed to be more of a driving thing, and then I'm going to go out and get all the prizes and coin them on type of thing. Everything seems to line up with that, except for the upgrade kits. Because if the weapons have specific firing arcs, they come once you win the hull, the blueprint for the hull. You also get all the potential components, the weapons and special options. So it's not about what you own; it's about how you drive them. Is the way it's being sold at this point. So
Could be fun.
it could be, yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. Oh my. And bounties old enough to drink at this point. I am so surprised that this actually happened. This is Bounty 21. So after Bounty 12, I'm surprised that it made it this long. There's certain bounties where it was very surprising that it lived to this age. And I'm not sure how well it's surviving, but I think there's way less participation than there was historically. So, let's go to the next one. All right. They've been presenting this Conqueror Upgrade 2 for the Ballistic and Breacher as part of Bounty. It's not really part of Bounty. It's part of it's only part of Bounty because of the upgrade kits that you get, because we see a large increase in those that are needed. For the Basilisk and Breacher, you were required to get 200 kits in order to get to U1. Same time frame, still 10 days, 20-something hours. But the main difference that we're seeing is, it's gone up to 500. So we can see the prizes on the left. The Basilisk, the most interesting one to people, is the mortar range, a plus 25. This includes both the range of the built-in mortar on the Basilisk and any ones that are included with the ship. So I think this gets to 193.2 with the built-in one, which is just 9 tiles plus a couple of more, and it's 168 or 164 for normal ones. So this might cause some people to change some base design ideas. But everybody wants to create a moat around their base that's that large. I think the better strategy is to create something that hits back at the Basilisk from longer range than this, because they're weak to a lot of things. So something that exceeds that range, and keep anything that would be snipeable inside of that, so you're killing it before it has a chance to inflict a lot of damage. Okay. Any more thoughts? Okay. No. Well, we didn't get to that. I was just seeing. Can we go back one?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. I was just seeing if anybody had any thoughts on the Basilisk change with the extension of the range, because there's also been upgrades to the Breacher. The Breacher has a existing one, an offensive bonus for sitting still, and now it has a defensive bonus for moving. I'm assuming the recharge time of 1 second means that if you've been moving for 1 second, then you get these deflection bonuses.
And you get that in your base as a base guard. So
If you're moving, that would be the assumption.
people aren't supposed to drive when they're being hit.
Well, you could put it on patrol. There's multiple options there. So
I say drive it.
okay. Well, now it gives an option. Richard's asking, how about using a sloth fleet to counter Basilisk? You would need to have a spotter in order to use the remote range. I think a lot of these people are going to come in from the sides and the back. So I think probably some of the turrets are going to be the most effective. Could be wrong, but
just park some lurkers out there and they don't know about them.
yeah. Well, they don't, and you could drive your lurkers all day and all night, but I'm not sure.
I can.
You can't
They,
drive lurkers.
that
don't move.
That was the joke. Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can drive them all day long. They ain't going to move.
Yeah, yes.
Well, you could only put 3, one on each side. one each side, one at the back, maybe. That's about it. But then as soon as someone knows they're there, they're just going to take another ship in to kill them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think this is part of why we got the new three HT transformers is to provide wider coverage of our base for longer range weapons that we already own.
I wonder if they're going to come in with a new weapon for the heavy turret then, to give it a bit more. I know you got the not the mortar one. You got the mortar. But wonder if they're going to come in with something that has a little bit longer range than the thrower. But
the basilisk in a lot of ways is sort of weak, so it's some of the missiles and whatnot, unless they're building up against one certain thing, and as we talked about, it's not next week, but the following week we get a new defender. There were hints that by Saltwater that this would be very countermeasure, potentially a countermeasure friendly ship. The other thing that he did recommend as well is, regarding defending against the basilisk, is to put your breachers in there. It's not going to shoot down the weapon built into it, but the rest of them. So, all right, let's move on. I'm sorry, everybody. That first hour of trying to get this thing up and going wore me out. We have the Flurry launcher, which is for megas. I'm not going to talk a lot about this because I don't pay attention to megas, but I put the slide together. So, does anybody have any mega input?
I don't mega.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't know if it's better or worse. How it's going to impact the game. I don't have a lot of knowledge associated with the mega ships. So,
what are they saying in chat? Anybody know?
They just talk about themselves and this chat. No, they're not talking about it in this chat. I thought you were talking about Discord.
No.
No, nobody's. Megas have no use. They're not. I don't think this is. I don't care about my mega. So this is not it's not a mega friendly group. So let's move on. This is the engine that goes with it. The things that's not shown in the blueprint is the flavor text talks about increase to radioactive damage. I never got an answer associated with this, but the assumption is it's going to be similar to the other ones, which I think it starts at 8, goes to 15, and then you go up to different tiers as far as research. So that's not been included in the information that we've seen, but the assumption that it's going to follow the same tier pattern that we've seen before. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move. Okay. Slides are over.
Woohoo!
Yep. So, anybody have anything else? I'm going for the short show because I'm worn out after all what happened earlier. But I am going to post the link in case anybody'd like to join the show or the after show. Whoops. What did I actually do there? Okay. No, it's not completely over. I'm just waiting for people to... Whoops. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Does anybody have anything to say about what we've been talking about?
Just more wait and see. That's all we can do.
It's more what?
Wait and see.
Yeah.
No, I think the breacher, not the breacher, the Basilisk going with the extra 25%. I think they're going to start losing even more players because they know their bases aren't going to be up to scratch. I mean, a lot of them, and yeah.
But everybody, like that's what I was trying to talk about earlier. Everybody's gone to the approach that I need to create a moat, as I put it. Something preventing you from taking damage from this. That's at this point it's basically 10 land tiles. But that's the other approach is to mess up the Basilisk because it's weak. And so creating damage outside of those areas, so you take him out prior to him being able to do too much damage. Throw some explosive plate on stuff. Get the what's the special that adds all the explosive? It's available in Bounty.
Here, I'll get it for you. I'm going to go in the store. I know which one you're talking about.
Okay. Bulwark or explosive bulwark or something like that.
Yeah, it's here it is. Heavy explosive bulwark.
Yeah.
It's 7,500 points in bounty, so very obtainable.
Yeah. So.
Well, on a bright note, our shipyards won't stop.
Yep.
Yeah, I was kind of happy about the 2 new holes being in the Conquest and not in the normal shipyard.
Yeah.
I was like, come on.
So. Alrighty. I'm sorry the show's been so. Unless, do we have anything that's ready for public consumption, or we ready for the after show?
After show.
I see. Alrighty. We'll get deep down into the secrets of what actually happened to the show today.
I'll get a cookie recipe.
I blame Kixeye.
Okay. I don't know if I'm blaming Kixeye. So, all right, everybody.
They're tired of you giving away secrets.
Yep. And on Friday, the secrets of my own secrets. Yeah, because I was not. I am fascinated by the people that were. There was a preview server that I wasn't part of that ran for 5 days, and I'm assuming it was associated with the interceptor and the shipwreck. And I don't know enough about it to be to communicate on it, but I'm assuming those people know, how gameable this is, and whether they let Kixeye know that. I just don't know. But we'll see you on Friday. It might be from this channel. I don't know. I'm not sure what's wrong with the other channel. It just wouldn't start up a Hangout. But as soon as I started this one up, it worked. So I don't know. Maybe I'll need to start up a third one. Who knows? Whatever happened to the first channel. So, or that's going to fix itself.
You just want to double the likes.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, we only got about a third of the people coming over from the other one. So yeah, it's not. Yeah, we got 2 likes here, and then we already had like a bunch of likes on the other side, and likes don't do much. So, alrighty.
Where can I like it?
I don't know. Why can't you like it, or where can you like it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. You're still. I'm sorry.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's go to the after show, and we'll see you all on Friday. I'll still broadcast it as far as the link, but I just don't know what channel will end up being on. I'm going to test it, the next probably tomorrow, and try and get everything back up and working again, and figure out what's going wrong here. So But the link's out there if you want to join the after show. And if not, we'll see you on Friday. And sorry for all the technical difficulties or whatever is going on.
We play Battle Pirates. We're used to it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Later, people.
Bye, everyone.